In an interview that Ethan Hawke did making the promotional rounds for The Purge, he cited his favorite actor, or an actor that he's particularly obsessed with, and he said Nicolas Cage. This was his argument. Nicolas Cage is the only actor since Marlon Brando that's actually done anything new with the art of acting. He's successfully taken us away from an obsession with naturalism into a kind of presentation style of acting that I imagine was popular with the old troubadours. Thoughts?
Fascinating.
Did he watch Next or Knowing? I want to believe that. Look, Nicolas Cage was awesome in films like Leaving Las Vegas, Wild at Heart, Moonstruck, Raising Arizona,
Bad Lieutenant.
Bad Lieutenant. I mean, even recent movies like Bad Lieutenant or Adaptation. And he, I understand, like, there'd probably be, like, 3 or 4 more National Treasure movies because he has to pay off the IRS. But, it does suck when I don't agree with Sean Penn when Sean Penn made that comment, because I did like The Rock. I won't lie to you. I thought The Rock, actually, of all of his Bruckheimer films, even Con Air to an extent, were fun. But what has he done that I don't understand exactly? What has he done that's new, though?
It's not so much the quality of the films that he does. I think Ethan Hawke is talking about the fearlessness to actually be bolder in his acting choices and in his performances, and not be afraid to bring an element of kind of kabuki theater to the whole enterprise.
Right.
I can see that to some of the things, but the others, it just looks like I just need to help pay off this debt I have. I mean, sorry.
It brings up an interesting argument, because people think that of Nicolas Cage as a big sellout, and probably rightfully so, given the quality of 90% of the movies that he does. But in the framework of these terrible movies like The Wicker Man and Drive Angry and Ghost Rider and on and on and on and on, can you see a possibility that within these he's trying something different and daring and experimental? It's just the only vehicles that permit him the opportunity to try those things are these bad B movies.
Well, get bad B movies is kind of, but I can see that maybe in like Ghost Rider. I could even see that in something like the Wicker Man remake. I don't see it in a lot of these others, though. I just don't. But I do see. Look, I wish he would. His performance in Bad Lieutenant is stellar. I mean, you are reminded what a over the edge actor he is. In Adaptation, you were reminded of that too. In Lord of War, you were reminded of that. I think Lord of War we don't talk enough about. I think, and I think
that's true.
And I think he's really good in that. Look, I wanted to like Next because it's based on a Philip K. Dick story or whatever, but it seemed like a wasted time. And unfortunately, what was that one? He did one, the Season of the Witch or something, which is just, and the Ghost Rider sequel. I mean, I think
Dangerous. Remember that one?
Oh God, and that's a remake too. I mean, I do think he has the potential to really.
I want to see him get a really, really good script, and that's perfect for his talents.
I want to see him reprise his role as Sailor. To be honest, there's so much work.
I do enjoy his over the topness. I mean, I always have. If you think back on Peggy Sue Got Married.
Yeah.
That's a very unusual performance in the middle of that film. And then also things like Vampire's Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Even Living Las Vegas to a large extent. And he is incredibly unusual.
Right.
And one of a kind kind of actor.
Love to see him.
And it's just a shame that he has to do he's doing these other films.
And I understand he needs, obviously given his financial situation, he needs the money. I'm not going to begrudge him that. Don't expect me to like the work, but I understand why he's doing it. But I would love to see him, because he did such a good job in Leaving Las Vegas. I would love to see him try to get the other O'Brien novels made into movies, Stripper Lessons and The Assault on Tony's. I'd love to see him play one of those characters in that, because he's a natural. He's perfect. He really is O'Brien's alter ego in those books. I would love to see him do that.
He was doing crappy movies before he had problems with the IRS.
Oh yeah, I mean that goes without saying.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, Gone in 60 Seconds. I mean.
Yeah, that was terrible.
I mean, well,
Con Air.
I mean, Con Air, I guess, is Malkovich really is who we like in that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the strong point of that movie. But this is the funny thing. I do think he's capable, but I would, even though I doubt David Lynch would do it, there's so much going on after Wild at Heart in those books. I would love to see him and Laura Dern reprise those roles. I really would. And I know that no happens at the end of that, but there's so much that goes on after that story that I'd love to see that, because I thought he was perfect in that movie.
Well, apparently Nicolas Cage is going to do Expendables 3, and the news last week is that Mel Gibson will probably be the villain in Expendables 3.
That will be the greatest movie. That will be the greatest movie when it comes out. That's it.
And there's some more unusual people that are in it now too, right? I mean, there's some.
Well, Wesley Snipes agreed to do it, and
Seagal everyone who's had problems with the IRS is in the movie. I mean, what?
Yeah.
There's who's the female in it?
Mila Jovovich. Yeah.
Mila Jovovich. That's right.
All right. Okay.